But so tonight we're gonna have a little fun episode for y'all. It's gonna be a mid-season fantasy award show. So we're both gonna be giving a fantasy MVP award, best value pick, biggest bust, rookie of the year, and most improved for halfway through the season. And we didn't really tell each other who we picked, so we might have some of the same. We got some honorable mentions in there too. And before we get started on that, we also just launched our TikTok at Sideline Chatter. Doing pretty good so far. It just launched 2 days ago. We got 2 videos with 12K views, another couple with 8K plus. So
shit's fun.
If y'all want to hop on the wave before we're famous, it's just it's your time now. Shit. This beer got me screwed up.
Oh man, he's fun, but no, TikTok is very fun. Glad we stumbled upon that.
Max.
Definitely giving us some juice here.
Mm-hmm.
God knows we fucking need it.
All right, but enough with the laughing. Let's get
yeah, we gotta get down to business here.
I'm gonna start with the fantasy MVP.
All right.
So obviously this is a player that's been carrying your team this year. And I'm gonna go with Alvin Kamara.
Okay.
Running back for the Saints. He obviously he's been unreal this year.
Fucking wide receiver for the Saints.
Literally. Yeah. So he's got 37. He already had his bye, too.
Mm-hmm.
37 more points than the next closest running back. Which honestly, that's all the stats we need right there. Right, it's insane. 46 catches, leads the next closest by 9. He's got 460 receiving yards. The next closest is 233, so he's pretty much doubling that. He's been unreal. Honestly, he's probably spent like a 5th, 6th overall pick on him.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people were disrespecting him. Was it Tyler who was trying to pick Clyde over him? Was that what it was? Right?
It was. Yeah.
How's that looking, Ty?
Mm.
He likes to come on my neck for giving out some wrong advice every here and there, so I got to give him that one. But his lowest game all year in a PPR format has been 20 points.
It's ridiculous.
Like that's I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Has it ever been done? Like I don't even know.
It's unbelievable.
But
another quarterback.
Literally. So I mean, in a PPR league, he's obviously that much more better. Standard leagues, he's still great, but in PPR, he's like a cheat code. So I mean, that's my fantasy MVP so far. How about you?
So I actually have the same one. No, I think that's not very surprising. I think he's been the standalone MVP so far this year. But I got a little bit of different stats to supplement yours.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's unreal, but there's a lot to go around. I have that he's only been held under 110 total yards in one game, and in that game he scored twice. So that's ridiculous. That's how good he's been. That his worst game has been like 90 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Like,
right.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Scored 7 touchdowns in 6 games. That's absurd. I think he only has 1 game where he didn't score, or maybe 2.
Right.
Which is stupid. You said how many catches he had. I had an averaging 7 catches a game, roughly. A little more, actually.
7's insane, though.
His rushing isn't, like, as high as it probably used to be.
Right.
But because Michael Thomas has been gone, they need him to catch the ball more.
I didn't touch on that. I should have.
Yeah, but, he's just been a PPR machine this year. Like, literally another quarterback. Like, unbelievable for your team. I think he's absolutely a league winner because I don't think it changes. Even when Michael Thomas comes back, they'll just hand it off to him more. And he's unbelievable at making people miss and long touchdowns. Like, I feel like no one has more long touchdowns than he does. It's like, I don't know the actual numbers. I'm just saying. Like, I feel like he's always running at least 20 yards for a touchdown, like, ridiculously. But, yeah, he's producing at an all-time fantasy level right now.
If you have him on your team, you should be a good record.
Yeah.
I mean, unless your Spivak has him and has the 2 wins.
If you want to ramble on real quick, I'm going to do a little fact check on that.
Right. I have him in your league, and I have 1 loss or 2 losses. So, I mean, the guy's been unreal. If you spend a 4th overall pick on him, that's probably where he was going at the highest, right behind Zeke. Then obviously you've got the best player in fantasy. But I know a lot of people were disrespecting him. He was going sometimes 5th, 6th, 7th, maybe even 8th at sometimes. Because he's not always the greatest running back out there. But obviously, like we mentioned plenty of times here, he is a god receiver. So
I was going to look up some records of all the 5 leagues that I'm in and people who own Kamara, but after 2 leagues, the combined record is 4-10. So I'm just going to move on.
That was a suck then.
I'm going to move on. That was the first 2 leagues that I looked at.
That was suck.
That was
real quick. I'm going to give our honorable mentions out.
Yeah.
Mine is a little dry, but I think he's MVP of the league so far, Russell Wilson. He's the number 2 quarterback. He already had his bye, though. But he's been unreal. 22 touchdowns, 6 picks. Also got some rushing scores to go with that. I mean, he's literally putting up like 25 plus every single game. And whenever you have a quarterback that can get you those numbers, like you're in every game in your fantasy league. So he's not ever really going to dud. They've let him throw the ball a lot more. So come season end, I think he might be able to take the crown. Maybe not, but who you got?
My honorable mention for MVP is Kyler, who's actually QB1, but didn't have his bye yet, so Russell and him are probably pretty close. But he's been unreal. He's been basically looking like what Lamar looked like last year, but he's just throwing the ball way better. Like he's Lamar Jackson that can throw way better. Like it's really, when you think about it that way, that's absolutely crazy. But I don't know, having Hopkins really injected
That too.
definite like juice into that offense that they needed. I feel like I'm saying juice a lot, but it definitely added a whole nother dimension to that offense. His last year, I feel like it was just him running for his life, running around, scrambling, trying to do what he could with like Fitz and Kirk.
Yeah.
And now that you saw the play that everyone hogged with on Twitter, that he caught the snap and smiled because he had Hopkins one-on-one. Did you see that?
Oh, I did not.
Oh, yeah, the one where they ran the play where they all like looked at the sideline to make the defense like look at the sideline, and then they said hike and like no one was ready, and Hopkins had the touchdown.
Oh, the touchdown, yeah.
He literally caught the snap and like cheesed. Didn't even grab the laces and just threw it to the end zone, and it was a touchdown.
That's insane.
But that's my honorable mention, Kyler.
Fun.
Short king.
Well deserving. Next, we're going to move to our best value pick. So what this means is someone that was going pretty late in drafts that has obviously turned a really good value, like a first, second, third rounder out of it. It's pretty much like a sleeper. Who's the best sleeper? I have Robbie Anderson.
2 for 2. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but no, he was going around pick 187, which is almost like round 13. And I mean, in our league, I drafted him around 16 out of 19 rounds. Some leagues, he probably was going a little later than that, maybe a little earlier. He was a wide receiver 56 off the board. Checking my numbers, but now he's the 7th among receivers in fantasy points, total points. And he's second in yards, only behind Hopkins, who you just mentioned. And he hasn't got under 10 points in a game all season. So, obviously, I think we've mentioned this on the show before. Like, he's usually like a boomer bust player, but this year he's provided really like a lot of stability to your team. So, I mean, if you're getting a receiver in the 16th round, like I did, I mean, I was an idiot and traded him because I didn't think. Well, I mean, I was on the fence, but I didn't really think he could keep it up the whole year. I traded him like week 3. But it backfired on me. I traded him, it's whatever. He could have been a keeper, but round 16, I got him. I mean, and he's getting top 7 production. That's like kind of insane.
Yeah, I also have Robbie Anderson, if you couldn't tell by my reaction. But again, this is another, I feel like, no-brainer. Like, you could say other people, but the definition of like value,
You're
like
the highest, yeah.
Like from where he was to where he is now, like where he's projected to be to where he is now, no one has a bigger difference than this. Like you said, 180 like ADP. That's stupid for to be 7th overall among receivers. And it's not like he had one game where he had like 50 and then had a bunch of 4s. Like he's literally, like you said, hasn't gone under 10 once. You said, or hasn't gone under 10 yet.
In
That's
PPR leagues,
ridiculous. 8th in the league in targets, which is stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty high considering
they don't throw the ball that much, and that he's not like a possession receiver like you, and 5th in catches.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
Definitely surprised.
3rd in yak, which definitely helps because they don't throw the ball very far. So that's how
he's just a monster.
Yeah. I don't have much more to add, but he's just been insane for someone that you probably took as a flyer at the end of the draft, hoping that he might do something,
like a DJ Moore injury or something,
or like sub in on a bye week and just hope he scores a touchdown.
A long one,
But he's been as sturdy he is so far.
You have a runner up or anything?
No, I'm just gonna stick with Robbie.
I'm gonna give you a nice little honorable mention. He wasn't as deep in the draft as Robbie is, but mine's Keenan Allen. Honorable mention. He was going probably round 5, 6 in most leagues. I mean, and a lot of people thought Tyrod was going to be the quarterback for the whole year, so that's why he wasn't projected high. But he's been like insane since Herbert has taken over. At least 8 catches in all games, except for the one he left with the injury against the Saints. He's seen 11 plus targets. I mean, he's been insane.
He's been insane.
I got these damn stats somewhere.
I'll give you an honorable mention. I just thought off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of information, but Kareem Hunt.
Yeah,
Probably
he was going to be one of mine.
Like, I feel like it's a little bit hacky because Chubb got hurt.
Yeah.
But we don't care about that in fantasy football. We don't care how production comes along as long as it comes along. And he was probably taken like 6th, 7th round.
Yeah. Maybe
as like a flex.
Yeah.
As someone you consider your flex. Maybe your backup running back, like bye-week running back. And he, obviously the Chubb injury, he was inserted into 20 touches a game at least. But even before that, he was averaging like, I was looking it up earlier.
Scoring a lot.
He also was scoring every week, but he was averaging like 12, 13 touches a game, even with Chubb, which isn't like unbelievable, but it's pretty like solid for what you want out of your flex maybe. But obviously with the Chubb injury, he's now been stupid every week. He's scored in every game or had over like 100 total yards. But Chubb's my honorable mention, favorite player.
But like, I was getting my stats.
Sorry, I I just wanted to get it out.
Fun. Since Herbert taking over, it's 7 for 96, 13 for 132, 8 for 62, and 10 for 125. So, I mean, obviously, if he keeps this up, he's a high-end wide receiver 1. And he was a player I was staying away from in drafts because, like, he's like an older, nasty player that I wasn't really vibing with. But he obviously looks like a really big steal now, and it's probably turned your team around a lot. But on to the biggest bust.
You want me to go first?
We're going 3 for 3.
All right, yeah. Are we going to go? We're going to match. So I have 2 that I have equally as bad.
Okay.
I have them as 1A and 1B. 1A is Mark Ingram. Is that who you had? Okay. 1B is T.Y. Hilton.
Oh.
Okay,
I didn't have
different.
him.
Okay.
I had a little personal vendetta against the second guy, so
that's
why I put him there.
Okay. I'll go first then about Mark Ingram. His ADP was like in the 40s or 50s, right? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, like 4th round, 5th round.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I never thought he was worth that anyway. No. That's just my opinion. We we hate Mark Ingram. We've talked about this before, but Jake loves him. Shout out, Jake.
Sorry,
glad
Jake. Not this year.
Glad your 4th round pick worked out for you. But the Ravens' offense has been down in general, but he's been like brutal. Like, he has only most touches in a game, 11. Only gone over 60 yards once, total yards once. Only has 2 touchdowns on the year. He's been under 10 touches in 4 out of 6 games. That's awful for someone you projected to be your wide receiver running back 2.
Yeah.
That's really bad. I don't know, but the young backs are just taking over there, and I've kind of just probably took everything, but that's like.
I mean, it's pretty much.
He's been brutal.
He's been ass. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah.
29% snap share, 5 targets the whole year.
That's terrible.
Last year he had 10 rushing TDs and I think like 4 receiving or something like that, or 15 total TDs he had last year. So I mean. Like you said, I didn't touch him in any of my drafts because he's like not really old, but like he's just gross.
Yeah.
And obviously they drafted Dobbins, so like that made some drafters like shy away from him. And now obviously they love Gus Edwards still. So if you drafted Mark Ingram, I'm sorry for you. But that man is ass.
He's terrible.
That man is ass.
I'm very interested to hear who your second player is.
Okay.
You said personal vendetta.
Yeah.
I couldn't think
of it.
Mine's
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in PPR leagues, he hasn't been the worst, but, like, I drafted him in round, I think it was 3 or 4 in Jake's. And, like, he's been so bad. Like, so bad. And, like, obviously, I expected with him taking over the number 1 role at their AB left, I thought he'd be, like, all right, like, he'd be solid. But, I mean, the most yards he's had in the game was 85, and that was last week. He had a good game last week. 14 targets. Okay. Great.
Week 1, he was solid. 2
Week
touchdowns.
1, yeah. A little lucky, 2 touchdowns. But he also had games with 4 for 28, 2 for 6, 4 for 40, 7 for 48. Like, the dude, does he run more than 2-yard routes? Do you, bro? Like, so, I mean, he was going pretty high. And,
yeah.
They're going in the Adam Thielen range and stuff like that. So, I'm glad that I avoided him in 3 out of 4 leagues, but that one league is still pissing me off.
Yeah,
and you had
T.Y.
Yeah.
Personal vendetta.
He's been worse.
Personal vendetta.
He's worse than him.
He hogs, bro. I traded him into the 2 quarterback league. I traded Minshew for him because I had Sutton go out for the year, and like just not even wanting him to do good, just wanting him to give me something, and he stinks. The guy stinks. I'm sorry. Really owning him has made me hate him. I see in our league, our main league, he went 6th round, 1 pick ahead of Chark. Which, looking at it now, hurts. Q.
Yeah. I know he released him.
Yeah, he dropped him. But
Imagine dropping your 6th-round pick not due to injury.
Right. Like other 6th-round picks in our league. Diggs, Jonathan Taylor, Dak Prescott, Montgomery. People you're not dropping.
Right.
Be giving you something.
Mm-hmm.
But T.Y. Hilton, ADP in like 50s, 60s, like 5th, 6th-round pick, hasn't gone over 70 yards once this whole year as the team's number 1 receiver. 4 catches or less in 5 out of 6 games he's played.
Awful.
Again, as supposed to be the team's number 1 receiver with a better quarterback now. It's awful.
Awful. But let's
Terrible. Get me out of here. I'm done.
So summing up so far, our fantasy MVP, we have Alvin Kamara. Biggest bust, Mark Ingram. Best value pick, Robbie Anderson. Next, we go to Rookie of the Year. I feel like this was the one I thought we would have the same one, so we probably do.
We definitely have the same one.
James Robinson.
Yeah, but again, like, usually I don't think it's like this, but I feel like this year there's just so many clear-cut people for these type of things. Like, he's just been stupid.
Right. The RB2 in PPR leagues overall out of running backs.
Crazy.
Before this, and he has a bye this week, so I mean he's probably going to move down probably to like 6 or 5 or 6 or something. But he's had 10 points or more in every game this year, which is insane. He probably wasn't even like. Is he even drafted?
The first thing I wrote was he was undrafted, and he's the RB2. That right there is just
I think he's a 1 now.
Silly.
I think.
I meant RB2 overall. I meant.
Oh yeah.
Like that's silly that he's that good.
Yeah, I think Derek picked him up. He didn't even draft him.
Yeah.
Or he might have drafted him. I don't even know what him.
I think unless your draft is 20
he
rounds,
picked him up,
like, how could you pick him?
A free agent player that you're getting off the free agent list is RB2, and he's a rookie. I mean, that's just insane.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. I'm sorry.
No,
I thought you were gonna keep going. How bad their team is, and for him to be such a good running back doesn't make any sense. Which is even more of like the anomaly of like how good he is. Like they're 32nd in the league in run plays per game.
Are they?
Lowest in the league in run plays per game, and he's the RB2, and he's not the best receiver.
Yeah.
Like
he's solid, but
but I'm saying he's not Kamara. He's not averaging 8 catches a game and shit.
That's
like,
insane.
But 700 total yards and 6 touchdowns through 7 games going into his bye week. That's utterly insane, especially for a rookie, undrafted rookie in real life.
Yeah.
And undrafted in fantasy. And then his number 1 running back in the NFL in opportunity share, which is absolutely insane.
Percentage of teams, carries, and targets.
That doesn't even make sense. That he is number 1 out of all running backs. Doesn't make any sense. That was, to me, that's the craziest stat of the whole thing.
Right. And also, I'll throw this in there real quick. He had, like I said, he had no games under 10 points, and he has had 2 games above 30 points. So, I mean, that's like ideal. He's never going to bust, but he can also win you a week.
Yeah. You just have to hope that the Jags stay within 1 or 2 possessions, and he's going to get the ball. Like, they don't care. They just don't care.
Who's your honorable mention?
Honorable mention is dry as Fuke, but it's Clyde.
Oh.
Clyde, my honorable mention, because, you took him maybe as the 5th overall running back, but even through 7 weeks, I know this is only for the first half. Obviously, it's going to change going into the second half with Le'Veon Bell, but he's still RB10. That's really good. Still RB1 status, like, for a rookie. Like, that's pretty solid, even though, like, he was projected to be there. He's still putting out. I was going to do the quarterbacks, but they're both, like, not even in the top 10 quarterbacks, are they? Top 8, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Herbert in points per game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because but I don't know. I was gonna do that, but I feel like the running backs have more of an impact.
Yeah, they do definitely.
So, Clyde's mine.
Mine. We share the same name. I have Justin Jefferson. I actually feel really strongly he's gonna take maybe if we do the award show again at the end of the year, he might be my rookie of the year because he barely even played the first 2 weeks. Like they weren't giving him snaps or giving like freaking BC Johnson snaps over him. I don't know, idiot coaching staff, but he's been insane. He's had 2 games, over 160 receiving yards. He's had 2 30-plus point games, including like a 36-point game. He's number 1 in the NFL in yards per target at 15.
Jesus.
So, I mean, he's getting like deep ball after deep ball, and like every catch he's getting is like 15-plus. So, I mean, at the end of the year, now he's like a full-time receiver for the Vikings. If they stop running the ball so much, I think you could see him be rookie of the year for me at least.
If they stop running.
And I own him too, so I'm a little biased, but he's been like insane for me to plug in my flex and he can get 35 points. Like it's crazy. But last but not least, we're gonna go the most improved.
You go first. You take it. I just want to get some more statage from my person.
I'm taking Calvin Ridley, the most improved. He's been the wide receiver 3 overall this year with that goose egg game in there, which I don't know how that happened. But he's been above 16 points in PPR leagues every game besides that 1-0 game. Last year he missed 3 games, but he had 860 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's already at 615 yards and 6 touchdowns in 7 games this year. So I mean, I know before the season, he was projected pretty high, probably like around 3, 4, 5 range.
Yeah.
I mean, I really wanted him in a lot of my leagues. I wasn't able to get him in any, which is crazy because like I feel like every draft he went like right before me in every draft. And I was like, damn, I want him in one league because I know like they're saying he's like squatting all his pounds and shit. And he wants to be a 1,000-yard receiver, so I'm getting hype. I'm like, this dude really wants it. But he's certainly been elite. He jumped in, like I said, wide receiver 3 overall, number 1 in the league in deep ball attempts and also red zone targets with 12. So I mean, he's on his way to like a wide receiver top 5 finish. And last year he was good, but not great, and that's why I have him as my most improved.
Who was his name again?
Oh, Calvin Ridley.
Oh no, that's fine. I just wanted you to say it again because you talked about it. But mine's Nasty again. Nasty running back. I don't know if you.
Okay, go ahead.
David Johnson.
Oh no,
That's mine. Most
I'm
improved.
gonna say Connor.
That would be a solid one too. Again, there's plenty of good options for every award. But David Johnson already has more rushing attempts this year, more yards, more touchdowns than he did last year. Obviously, he was a little injured and like they brought Jake in to replace him at the end. But that goes into being most improved. Like everyone kind of thought he was going to be washed up and old, and Duke Dickel Johnson was going to just apparently take work from this guy. I'm not hearing it. I'm not seeing it. And I don't know. He's just been really solid. Like, they actually give him the ball a lot. He's getting the ball way more than I think anyone anticipated.
Yeah.
But
he's actually staying healthy.
Actually staying healthy.
Shocking to me. I thought he'd be hurt by now.
Yeah, so David Johnson.
My honorable mention was your MVP, which is kind of crazy. Kyler Murray was QB 11 last year, and he's the number 1 this year so far. He's number 1 or 2 in the league amongst quarterbacks in carries, red zone carries, touchdowns, rushing yards a game, all the rushing stats. He's like number 1 or 2. So I feel like we always knew he could run.
Yeah.
Like last year, I would see glimpses of him run. I'm like, bro, why doesn't he run more? And now this year, that's like they're letting him. That's
what I was saying. Like they finally opened up the offense now because they actually have a deep threat. So now they can run design runs, and he can do everything that Cliff Kingsbury probably envisioned. It's hard to stretch the field with a 55-year-old man playing receiver and a rookie, but.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, I mean, it's basic, but he's insane.
He's good.
Do you have honorable mention?
I do not.
No, okay. That wraps it up.
Oh, boy.
Here I go, the Hagee stutter.
Let's get out of here.
That wraps it up. Like always, subscribe to the channel. Give us a nice little thumbs up. Helps the algorithm. Subscribe. I already said that, but turn on the notification bell so you get notified when we drop videos. Go follow our TikTok at Sideline Chatter, Instagram, Twitter. They're all the same. Appreciate it.
Also, Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you can't watch the video.
Yes. We're out there.
Yeah, we're trying to reach all platforms.
Neighborhood near you.
So you just have to say a corny line before we end? Like, you just have to? All right. I'm done.
We'll see y'all Monday.
Yes, sir.
With some kind of video. I don't even know. It's a surprise.
This is...